FBI Director Kash Patel returning for round 2 of fiery testimony on Capitol Hill, fielding tough questions from House Democrats about Jeffrey Epstein just a day after shouting matches with the Senate Judiciary Committee. He defended the administration's handling of the Epstein files. And you know the line he repeated over and over again? Well, he claims he's released all credible information he legally can. Keyword, credible.
We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay.
We have released everything the president and anyone else's side that is credible and lawfully be able to be released.
Patel says the FBI will investigate any new credible leads. So you would think he'd want to meet with Epstein's survivors, those who would want to tell the administration what they endured and provide, they believe, credible testimony. Well, one of those survivors, Haley Robson, will join me in just a moment. Patel, he was pressed if he would interview them.
If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is the
invite all
answer yes or
investigative
no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
end?
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers, just look at the
Mr.
stats.
Patel.
Not a direct yes or no answer. And then he was asked this.
Mr. Patel, are the victims of the Jeffrey Epstein horrific trafficking ring, are they credible?
Any person with information about ongoing sexual trafficking.
I'm asking you if they're credible.
Ma'am, I'm
Are
commenting
they
on the
credible?
evidence we have.
But
And we have routinely asked for people to come forward with more evidence, and we will look at it. And the evidence that we have was the same evidence that the Biden and
Patel,
Obama Justice Departments
Mr.
had.
Patel,
And they
this is
determined,
new.
not me, they determined that
Chairman,
information was not
Mr.
credible.
Chairman.
With me now, Haley Robson. She is one of the Epstein survivors who came forward for the very first time on Capitol Hill, along with other survivors, to push for the release of all of the Epstein files. Haley, welcome, and thank you for being here and continuing to share your personal journey here. You heard the FBI director, particularly evasive on questions about whether he has met with or will meet with survivors, refused saying whether he finds survivors credible. What would you say to him tonight in response?
I mean, it's a hoax. Now we're not credible. It's hard to follow everything, honestly, as it's coming out. I have to chuckle to myself because the only credible people in the room are the people that said they were coming through with the Epstein files and campaigned on it for their whole campaign. And now when it's time to pay the piper, they all of a sudden don't know where the files are, or there's all of a sudden there's nobody that's credible. It's just the imagination and the creativity behind these stories are astounding to me. Of course we're credible.
Would you meet with him? I mean, he talks about new, credible. He talks about meeting with survivors in terms of the FBI investigators, not
Yeah.
himself personally. Would you meet with him, the director of the FBI, if he agreed to?
Absolutely. I have no hard feelings. I have no animosity. As hard as it is to hear anyone say that it's a hoax or say that the survivors aren't credible or they didn't feel there was credible enough evidence to release the files. Yeah, of course, it's very hurtful to hear because we all know it's not true. But I am willing to meet with anybody from this administration. I am willing to work with anybody from this administration, including Kash Patel, if it means that we can come together in some type of resolution and actually be able to put this behind us while also being transparent.
Haley, has anyone from the FBI sought to interview you? Have you given such an interview at all?
Not lately. The last time the FBI wanted to interview me was when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for the second time, which was in, I believe, New York. So unfortunately, since then, I have not heard anything, but my offer stands. And if they're not comfortable speaking to me, I urge them to reach out to Brad Edwards, which is my attorney, and they can speak to him directly if not comfortable meeting with the survivors. We're okay with that as well.
To your understanding, has there been that offer extended to even your counsel?
There has been absolutely nothing offered to my counsel, to any of the other girls' counsel. It's extremely disheartening to see everything play out, but I'm going to stay hopeful and optimistic, and I'm going to just keep hoping that within the next few months there will be something huge, and maybe the time will come where somebody does actually reach out to us.
Now, I want to be clear. I asked about the FBI. The House Oversight Democrats did meet with your counsel ahead of their interview with Alex Acosta, and I know you're aware of that. And of course, that is that prosecutor who negotiated Epstein's, what they're calling a sweetheart deal back in 2008. Can you talk to me a little about the meeting with lawmakers? What are you hoping the lawmakers will ask Acosta about that deal and anything else?
Well, one of the questions that has been on my mind since the very beginning in 2008, when it was originally arranged between Alex Acosta and this plea deal, who told you to offer that deal? Who authorized that? Who oversaw you doing all this? I mean, surely not one man himself came up with this idea of, let's give him this specific sweetheart deal and let's make a move and let's do things this way. Clearly there was other people that were involved in giving Jeffrey Epstein this sweetheart plea deal, and I would like to know the names of those people. I would really like to know who's responsible for offering that, especially to do it in such a way where it's harmful to the survivors, and basically they did it behind our backs. We didn't even know.
Unbelievable to think about that and what that must have felt like, Haley, learning about it the way, frankly, the rest of the world was learning about it as well. I mean, the House Judiciary Committee, they rejected a request from Democrats to vote on whether to subpoena 4 major banks to investigate their relationship with Epstein and some kinds of suspicious transactions. Are you concerned that this could be a dead end for the investigation when people are normally saying follow the money?
Well, I'm going to say if you follow the money, you're probably going to have a lot more answers. One thing is for certain, there is a trust with money in it after Jeffrey Epstein passed away. And I think it's time that we go back into that trust and find out who's on the receiving end to it. And I'm sure we can scramble some more answers that way. But I do think the safest and probably the best, most accurate way, 100% follow the money. Follow the money. Find out who was pulling money, who was involved in the transactions. That's huge in this. Absolutely.
Well, we will continue to follow this story. And Haley Robson, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Up next, RFK Jr. said that she was fired because he couldn't trust her. And tonight, the former CDC director is telling her story as she warns America there is reason to be worried about what the CDC might do this week. Stay with us.